He Ramakrishna, Madhuram Tava Satcharitram, Tvat Punya Nama Madhuram, Madhuram Twadangam, Sambhashanam Cha Madhuram, Madhuram Cha Ganam, Tat Kimnu Yanna Madhuram Bhavati Tvadiyam. O Ramakrishna, your divine life is sweet. Your holy name is sweet. Your form is beautiful. Your conversation and song are sweet. Is there anything about you that is devoid of sweetness, O Lord? Om Shanti, 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 peace, peace, peace be unto all. This morning our subject is Sri Ramakrishna's love for the devotees. Last 2 years we could not observe our festivals and our regular activities due to COVID. This Sunday is supposed to be the Sri Ramakrishna's festival, worship service, but we had to cancel. Hopefully next year everything will be normal. We are moving to that direction, of course. So now the devotees can come and attend the lectures in person. So I shall speak to you about Sri Ramakrishna's anniversary service instead of worship. Sri Ramakrishna's love for the devotees. Bhakta or Bhagavan, devotee and God. God is the creator, and the devotees are created. Both are connected with a cord of love. God and the devotees are connected. Without devotees, God goes to sleep. Ananta Shayan. He sleeps. Nobody is calling me, why should I bother about the creation? He goes to sleep. And without God, devotees also suffer by Maya. All the trials and tribulations, sufferings, pain, misery, being tormented by these 3 kinds of miseries, the devotee is called on God and breaks his sleep. Why do they call on God? For 2 things, peace and bliss, which they cannot buy from the market. Money does not buy peace and bliss. That comes from God. So, God responds. My children are calling, I must go and help them. He descends as an avatar. And he plays with them. This is called Leela Madhurya. The beauty, the wonderful play between God and human beings. That we find in every incarnation's life. This world is God's playground. It is a stage. We are all players, actors, actresses in this divine drama of God. But due to the gradation of gunas, human beings differ. Those who are preponderance of sattva quality, they are very close to God. Those who are full of rajas, be in between, in the middle. And those who are tamas, at back. This is all play of the gunas. Amazing that how it works. God says that if you read Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, verse 13 to 19, there you will find Krishna mentioned 6 times, Sachame Priyaha. He is dear to me, he is dear to me. If you have such and such qualities, you are dear to me. If you have such and such qualities, you are dear to me. 6 times Krishna repeated, who is dear, which is dear to God. So we'll have to imbibe those qualities. Then we'll be very dear to God and we'll be very close to God. It is very clear. And the more we are close to God, the more we get peace and bliss. If you are near the ocean, you get the gentle breeze. If you go to a perfume shop, that perfume, that fragrance enter inside your nose, you will not have to make any effort. It comes automatically. As you have seen the perfume stores, those girls will spray perfume on your hand and they say, smell. You have seen. But if you go there, that perfume, that fragrance comes to your nose automatically. Similarly, the more we are close to God, we get peace and bliss. Automatically. You will not have to make any effort. Very interesting how we become very close to God. It is in the Revelation chapter of the Bible. This is said, Krishna, listen, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into his house and eat with him, and he will eat with me. Those 2 words are very powerful. I stand at the door and knock. God is knocking at our doors, but we do not want to open. We do not hear that sound. That door, that heart, that houses the heart. He all the time wants to enter in our heart, but we do not respond. Our heart is somewhere else. We do not listen. That is the reason Christ said, those who have ears, let them hear. Our senses are not trained. We'll have to train them. That is the reason we take initiation, practice spiritual disciplines to train our senses so that we can hear God's voice. This we find in Sri Ramakrishna's life. He is visiting devotees' house in Calcutta and other places. He said, Chaitanya used to carry God's name from door to door, but my body is so delicate and weak and fragile that I need a horse carriage. And I go to the devotee's house. It was not possible for him to walk long distance for Ramakrishna. Regarding Sri Ramakrishna's love for the devotees, Premananda said when any devotees would come to Dakshineshwar, he used to feed them, give them drinking water. Then he says, do you want to chew betel roll? Do you want to smoke tobacco? Even when he would see them off, he was very courteous. In Ramakrishna's Divine Life in Pictures, you will find, I pointed out the spot where he used to stand and bid farewell to the devotees when they would return to Calcutta by horse carriage. Devotees. Moreover, a few things we find in Sri Ramakrishna's conversation. Bhakter hriday bhagavaner boitokkhana, his exact words. The heart of the devotee is the parlor of God. These are all new words. It is his own coins. He coined those words. Then he mentioned another thing. Bhakto, Bhagavat, Bhagavan, Teen, Ek. Devotee, God, and the scriptures, all three are one. Then he made a beautiful analogy. Sabche bado Prithivi. This earth is very big. Tarche bado Samudra. The ocean is bigger than the earth. Tarche bado Akash. The space is bigger than the earth and the space and the ocean. Tarche bado Bhagavan. Vishnu with 1 foot occupied the earth, heaven and netherworld. Tarche bado devotee and God, and devotee is larger than God. He, that infinite God, he puts in his heart. Beautiful analogy. We can visualize. Devotees, they carry God in their hearts. They are the greatest. Now I shall tell only few devotees I shall try to cover about Sri Ramakrishna's love. First, Rani Rashmani, who founded the Dakshineshwar temple garden. She was one of the 8 companions of the Divine Mother. She built the stage where Sri Ramakrishna could play his divine play for 30 years. 30 years. It so happened, Rashmani passed away. It was I think, Falharini Kali Puja. Sri Ramakrishna is supposed to get some prasad from the temple, and the prasad did not arrive. So he was lamenting, what is the matter? I am supposed to get the prasad. And Swami Yogananda, he was then a devotee, was thinking, Master was a temple priest, he very small-minded. He is seeking for a little prasad. And that also he is very little, he gives away. Why is so much concerned about this prasad? Sri Ramakrishna lamented, then he put on his slipper and went to the office. And he asked the manager, what is the matter? I did not get my prasad. From the Rashmani's time, every morning I get prasad, and the festival prasad. Manager said, sir, excuse us, we shall send right now. We forgot. So the prasad came. Then Sri Ramakrishna was telling Yogananda, you see, Rani Rashmani established this temple, arranged this food offering and everything, so that he can get some virtue. But this prasad with temple priests, they take to their homes. And some of the priests have secret mistresses. They carry this food to those girls. They go to wrong places. But if that prasad comes to my room, the devotees get the prasad. As a result, Rani Rashmani gets the virtue. Swami Yogananda understood that every action of Ramakrishna has a deep meaning. He is thinking about Rashmuni's welfare, who built this temple complex. Next story, Rashmuni's son-in-law, Mothur. Mothur was the manager. Manager means he was the owner of the temple and he is supervisor of the... he was the caretaker. He was the all-in-all of the Dakshineshwar temple. He served Sri Ramakrishna 14 years. Mothur's wife, Jagodamba, was dying from blood dysentery. Big, very rich man. Brought nearly 1 dozen doctors. And all doctors said, no hope. She was going to die. It is a matter of time. Mothur took his carriage, came to Dakshineshwar, bowed down to the Mother Kali and the temples, and looking for the master, Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was in Panchabhuti. Mothur went and fell at his feet and burst into tears. Baba, and let me tell you what was going to happen. If my wife dies, I shall not be able to serve you, because there are 3 son-in-laws are there. They will get the right to maintain the temple. So, I shall not be able to serve you anymore. My wife is going to die. Sri Ramakrishna is in ecstatic mood. He says, Mothur, your wife will be recovered. She will be cured. Mothur knew that Sri Ramakrishna's words cannot be untrue. He bowed down to the master, went home, and found that she was recovering. She was feeling better. Later on, Sri Ramakrishna commented, Jagodamba's entire disease I took, and I suffered from blood dysentery for 6 months. You see, those who read Bible, they know the vicarious atonement, how Christ would take sufferings of human beings. That we find in Sri Ramakrishna's life. Next, Balaram Boshu. Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of Balaram. He was a rich landlord, but his health was not good. His wife, children are all devoted to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna went to his house 100 times. And he noted, he recorded in his almanac that how many times the master visited my house. Balaram's house was Sri Ramakrishna's parlor. It is in Calcutta, North Calcutta. Those who cannot come to Dakshineshwar, they would come to meet Sri Ramakrishna in Balaram's house. There he used to talk, give his spiritual talk. He used to sing, he used to dance, he would put chariot. He used to make festivity in Balaram's house. Once Balaram's wife was very sick. Sri Ramakrishna asked Holy Mother, go and see her. Holy Mother says, there is no carriage, how can I go? Walk 5-6 miles. Luckily, a palanquin was available, so Holy Mother went to see her. Another time, Balaram visited Dakshineshwar. He used to come with his family and other devotees from Calcutta by boat. Calcutta to Dakshineshwar, 4 miles upstream, north. So the boat, Balaram came, family, whole day they stayed in Dakshineshwar. Evening they are returning. Sri Ramakrishna came to the Chandni Ghat, where the boat anchored, and wanted to say goodbye to Balaram. When the boat went in the middle of the Ganges river, he found some deep cloud, and the storm started to blow. And Sri Ramakrishna saw that boat was topsy-turvy. He was concerned. What will happen? If the boat sinks, people will think that Balaram went to see that hopeless, unfortunate, bad monk and his whole family drowned into the river. He was very restless. Slowly the boat disappeared. He came to his room. He was lamenting and lamenting. So Jogin was in the room. He, without telling Sri Ramakrishna, he went to Balaram's house. Another 5-6 miles walked. And at night, he came back and gave the news to Sri Ramakrishna that Balaram's family reached safely. Master, do not worry. Don't be anxious. Sri Ramakrishna was very relieved, so that he could sleep at night. This little action shows Sri Ramakrishna's love for the devotees. Ramchandra Datta, a doctor, Sri Ramakrishna's devotee, who visited in 1879. He is one of the early devotees. He was very miserly. And he used to arrange festivals in different devotees' houses and invited Sri Ramakrishna. Do you know what festival means? It means somebody will read the Bhagavatam, then they will hire a musician, he or she will sing devotional songs. Sri Ramakrishna used to attend it. He used to talk to the devotees. Sometimes he was in Samadhi. Then that devotee was in your house, Sri Ramakrishna went, and he will arrange the food. All devotees will be fed. 3, 4, 5 hours festivity. It is amazing, I really like that kind of thing, that how Sri Ramakrishna used to go to the devotee's house and used to give them the spiritual food, joy. Then, but he did not invite Sri Ramakrishna. He was thinking, my money will be spent, and you will have to pay 3 rupees for annas, his horse carriage fare, whole day. So what happened, Ramdatta, some kind of bonus, he got quite a bit of money, and he secretly kept it in his wife. Then one day Sri Ramakrishna says, "Hey Ram, when are you going to invite me?" Master, yes, I shall invite you. Come 2nd June 1883. Come on that day. Then he was thinking, I got all this money, which is Master's grace, so that I can arrange his festival well. So it went very well. Sri Ramakrishna was very happy. Sri Ramakrishna suggested him that you buy a garden house, and so that in solitude you can chant God's name and practice the spiritual disciplines. In Kankurgachi, Ramdatta bought a place and made that Jogodhan. And Sri Ramakrishna went to that place 26 December 1883. He sanctified that place. That place is now our center. Bah, best jaiga. This is a beautiful place. One can think of God very nicely. This is the way Sri Ramakrishna used to go to the devotee's house. Once Ram's 3 daughters died from cholera. Sri Ramakrishna was lamenting, "Oof, she is passing through such a bad time." But Balaram's heart, "My children, God gave, God take away. Who am I? Master is on my all in all." You know, his love for God did not break his heart from the grief. Amazing. When God enters into your heart, He can transform your life, your character. We just see, if you have so many people died in his home, no grief. God gave, God take away. Who am I? This thing happens if you bring God in your life. Manomohan Mitra, and he is a friend of Ram Datta. They're close. He also came in 1879. So one day Sri Ramakrishna was praising Surendranath Mitra. Surendra had so much devotion. So this person is a very sentimental and a little piqued, a little jealous. Master is praising Surendra and I am nobody. Jealousy, you see. So what happened? He stopped coming to see Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna was sending people to him. He said, "First let me attain devotion, then I shall see the Master. I am not going to see." It is too much for Sri Ramakrishna. He took a boat, Balaram, Niranjan, and others went. His home is in Konnagar, the other side of the Ganges. Dakshineshwar is the eastern part of Ganges, and Konnagar is the western part of the Ganges. So he went and found that he was bathing in the Ganges. That seeing Balaram in the boat, Manaman said, "I am so happy that I see a devotee of Sri Ramakrishna today." Sri Ramakrishna was inside the boat, under the canopy. Then Balaram said, "Not only you see me, Master himself has come to see you." He was overwhelmed. Then Niranjan held him. So Sri Ramakrishna she took Sri Ramakrishna to his home and he was crying. Then do you know this incident, what it reminds me? It reminds me of the play of Krishna. Radhika's Man Bhanjan. Radhika, the spiritual consort of Krishna, was piqued. Krishna did not reciprocate his love, her love. So she was very piqued. "I shall not see your face anymore. Go." Krishna could not bear it. Krishna went to Radhika and grabbed his 2 feet and begged forgiveness. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned sometimes God becomes very small to the devotees. Could you imagine Krishna is holding the feet of the devotees? Sri Ramakrishna came to Manamohan's house to remove his mental, that kind of jealousy, ego, or whatever you may call it. Without invitation, went to the devotee's house to bless that person. Mahendranath Gupta, M. Master loved him very much. We sometimes think that we only think of God. God thinks of us more than we think of Him. It was 5th October, 1884. Sri Ramakrishna was telling him, look his words, তুমি এখানে কিছু চাও না, কিন্তু আমাকে দেখতে আর আমার কথা শুনতে ভালোবাসো, তোমার দিকেও আমার মন পড়ে থাকে, কেমন আছো, কেন আসো না, এইসব ভাবি. These are the exact words of Sri Ramakrishna in Bengali. You do not ask anything from me, but you love to see me, you love to hear me. My mind dwells on you. When you do not come, I think, is there anything, is he unwell? Why is he not coming to see me? I think of you. God is thinking. You see, do you know the problem? Problem is, we think, in Grisha's section also we shall find, it is in the scripture, or when we read the lives of the mystics, we see that how the devotees, the mystics love God. That is recorded in the autobiography, in the books, in the scriptures. But how much God loves the devotees, that is not recorded. Who will record? God does not write a book. He does not write his autobiography. God does not write any books. So, what happens, I asked this thing to one Swami, that Swami says in the Bhagavatam, in some places, we find God's love to the devotees have been recorded, a little bit. But we cannot express that infinite love of God for human beings. Anyhow, so can we think that God is thinking of you? It's so joyfully, this kind of sayings of Sri Ramakrishna. "25th June, 1884, Sri Ramakrishna to M. That day, the other day, I was trying to go to your home, but I do not know your address. Could you tell me your address? Sir, I live in Telipara in Shampukur, which is very close to my school. This utterance reminds us that God is seeking the address of the devotees. Could you give me your address? I want to visit you." Beautiful, just beautiful. As the God is the magnet and devotee is the iron. Again, devotee becomes the magnet and God becomes the iron. This attraction, that attraction comes when our mind is pure. We feel that somebody is attracting, like a magnet. M had a problem in the very beginning. His wife did not like that he should go and visit Sri Ramakrishna frequently. So he was very upset. Then one day Sri Ramakrishna said, if you have genuine love for mother, Divine Mother will change your wife's mind. It actually happened. Later on, M's wife took initiation from Holy Mother and became a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. If you have genuine love for the mother, mother will change your wife's mind. Now the James house has come to the Ramakrishna order, which is now a center. Everything gave to Sri Ramakrishna. In front of his house, do you know what is written? Thakur Badi, Ramakrishna's home. His own home, which is mentioned, it is Ramakrishna's home. I am just the caretaker. That is where transformation comes. Then Girish Chandra Ghosh. There is a saying in the English language, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. Girish's transformation is now a legend in the Ramakrishna tradition. He introduced himself to Sri Ramakrishna. I am a sinner. The place I sit 7 feet deep becomes impure. And the volume of wine I drank, if you put the bottle one after another, it will reach Mount Everest. He is introducing himself to Sri Ramakrishna. I am a drunkard, I am a debauchee. I lie. I am an actor. I go to the prostitutes and bring them to act in my play. Only a hero can introduce himself in this way. For that reason, Sri Ramakrishna says, Bhakta Bhairav. He is the hero among the devotees. 125% faith. Sri Ramakrishna found that I got a nice man who will act in my drama in a nice role. You see, all good player, you see, all drama you will find good and evil. That is the fight. That is the way drama goes. All good people cannot make a drama. All bad people cannot make a drama. Even it's good and bad. We see, you see, Superman, Batman, if the children see, these are all good and evil they are playing. So, Sri Ramakrishna took his Bakalma, power of attorney. You don't have to do anything, I shall do everything for you. He criticized Sri Ramakrishna, scolded Sri Ramakrishna, drunk. But do you know what? Sri Ramakrishna made him a teacher. In 1886, Sri Ramakrishna gave 11 ochre clothes to 11 monastic disciples, but one ochre cloth he gave to Girish. The person who is a sinner, drunkard, debauchee, bad person, Sri Ramakrishna gave him an ochre cloth and a rosary. Sri Ramakrishna did not scold him. Sri Ramakrishna did not force him, did not criticize him, did not bind him any rules and regulations, but he changed him by two things, love and freedom. Swamiji says many places, love and freedom are the two conditions of growth. Love and freedom. He tamed him. Just in the circus you have seen that Mr. Ganthar in Ringling Brothers Circus, how he controls all 18 African lions and Royal Bengal tigers. They obey him. All the ferocious tigers and lions. Similarly, aim tamed this so-called sinner and drunkard into a spiritual magnet. It was a new birth for Girish. Sri Ramakrishna said, he is a sure bhakta, he is a heroic devotee, nothing can change him, make him bad. Last 20 years, Girish did not drink. Not only that, Sri Ramakrishna told mother, give him a little power so that he can teach people. He made him a teacher who carried Sri Ramakrishna's message. Sri Ramakrishna's teachings he introduced in his drama. He wrote 90 dramas. actor, playwright, very famous. Sri Ramakrishna made him a teacher. One day Sri Ramakrishna says, you come, let me. Sri Ramakrishna was taking lunch. Girish came. There was some rice pudding. Sri Ramakrishna was feeding him. Like a child. And he was thinking, these lips kissed so many prostitutes. And now Sri Ramakrishna is touching the sinner's lips. This God-man. But later on he wrote in his reminiscences, is it a dream? When Swami Vishuddhananda went to see Girish, you have come to see me? I am Sri Ramakrishna's miracle. Seeing me, you will know what Ramakrishna was. Just see me. See my transformation. If I knew there is such a place where I can dump all my sin, I would commit more sin. That is it. Another time, Girish said, you people are trying to think of God, and I am trying to forget Him. He possessed me in such a way I cannot work. I cannot act. This is called real transformation. Holy Spirit. In the Bible we read in the Bible, Holy Spirit possessed him. That Holy Spirit possessed Girish and transformed him. Through love and freedom. Next, Kalipada Ghosh, a similar person like Girish, drunkard, Jibhoji, used to abuse his wife. His wife came to Sri Ramakrishna for medicine to change her husband's life. Sri Ramakrishna sent to Holy Mother sent to Sri Ramakrishna like a shuttlecock back and forth. Later on, Holy Mother gave some offered flowers and asked her, put in an amulet and wash it and drink it. And that changed her husband's life. He came to Sri Ramakrishna. He said, I hear people come here to get drunk. Is it wine made in England or homemade? Sri Ramakrishna said, it is homemade, but very strong. But I like whiskey and brandy. I do not care for Indian stuff. But no, it is very powerful. But I want to be absorbed. That man was transformed. There's a story that one day he came by boat from Calcutta to see Sri Ramakrishna. And he asked the boatman, drive the boat through the middle of the Ganges. And Sri Ramakrishna was going to visit Calcutta. When the boat came in the middle of the Ganges, he grabbed Sri Ramakrishna's 2 feet and said, Ami mode bode achi. My character is very bad and I am a drunkard. When I shall die, nobody will go with me. You promise that you will take me holding my right hand. Sri Ramakrishna says, he was drunk, most probably. But why bringing me in the middle of the river? You are making this show. What is the matter? I do not care, sir. You will have to promise, otherwise I won't let you go. Sri Ramakrishna says, all right. It actually happened. During his death, one of the disciples saw that he raised his right hand and collapsed. Sri Ramakrishna promised, I shall take you with me. Just love. Adharlal Sen, he was a deputy magistrate, but a great devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna visited his home many times. Sri Ramakrishna initiated him. Sri Ramakrishna initiated not through mantra through the ear. Sometimes with a finger, he used to write a mantra on the tongue, so that your tongue will constantly repeat God's name. His way of initiation is very different. One day, others asked Sri Ramakrishna, "Sir, what kind of power you have?" Sri Ramakrishna said, "My goodness, you want to know my power? Siddhai, mane occult power. Ordinary people are afraid of deputy magistrate. You see, British period, deputy magistrate is a very powerful person. People are afraid. But I put the deputy magistrate to sleep on my floor. Because Sri Ramakrishna told him, you have the company of the holy. So every day after his work, he used to take his horse carriage and come to Dakshineshwar, bow down to Master. He was so tired and slept on Sri Ramakrishna's floor, on the carpet. It reminds me of a funny story I shall tell you. At the time I was in Hollywood, so I used to speak Hollywood, Santa Barbara, Hollywood, alternate. So one nun in Santa Barbara came to me and said, "Swami," the name of the dog was Tasha. So one day I told her that give a mantra so that the dog will be a nun in the next life and join in the Santa Barbara convent. Well, Swami, you give mantra. But my Indian mantra does not work. You give American mantra. So what's happened? That Tasha, she said that, "Swami, I put the dog to sleep." Then I said, "Very good." She was looking at me. I did not know what put to sleep means, you know. Those sweet English American words I could not understand in the very beginning. So I thought, that is very good. Then she was looking at me because I do not show in my sympathy. Then she said, "Swami," then I heard what it means. When the dog was suffering, put to a place and put an injection and kill the dog. Then in my lecture I mentioned that, you know, American words are so sweet. Somebody may come, "Swami, I put my husband to sleep." I put my husband to sleep. So Sri Ramakrishna says, I put the deputy magistrate to sleep in my room. So somebody criticized Sri Ramakrishna, "What is wrong? At least it is mother's place, he gets some peace. Sleeping in my room. Other comes here to sleep." Sri Ramakrishna forbade him not to ride on a horse, and he did, and he fell, and that he had some stroke and he died. Another devotee, Deben Mojumdar, he came to see Sri Ramakrishna. He was poor. Sri Ramakrishna wanted to visit his home one day and asked, "I want to visit your home. Very poor. Sir, please come this Sunday." But you know, Devendra, your income is very small. Don't invite too many people. "Sir, and my carriage fare is 3 rupees 4 annas. That is also quite a bit of money." "Sir, doesn't matter. I can take loan." "I want to serve you." Sri Ramakrishna went to his house and he bought some ice cream cone that Sri Ramakrishna liked. Ice cream cone. It was 6th April 1885. That is the way he used to give joy and happiness to the devotees. Then Navagopal Ghosh and Nistarini Devi. Navagopal, he was an accountant, earning good money. It was 1st January 1886. Sri Ramakrishna became wish-fulfilling tree, Kalpataru. But he did not come in the afternoon, he came in the evening. So Ramdatta says, Master has become Kalpataru today, go to Sri Ramakrishna and ask something from him. So he came, Master, what will happen to me? তুমি একটু ভগবানের নাম করো, ধ্যান জপ করো, practice japa and meditation. Sir, big family, I wife, 7 children, big job, responsibility, I have no time to do all those things. একটু সকাল সন্ধ্যায় হরি নাম করো, স্যার এই জন্য ঝাপটায়। তুমি একটু আমার নাম করতে পারবে? Will you be able to chant my name? Oh yes, that I can do. That would be enough for you. Do you know what he used to do? Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Ram Krishna. That person was fully transformed. His wife was very spiritual. He used to come to Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, she was pregnant. So baby boom, she came to Sri Ramakrishna and said, this one I shall give to you. So when that child was born, he brought with swaddle cloth and put on Sri Ramakrishna's lap. This is yours. Sri Ramakrishna touched, rubbed his head and said, very good. You raise it. When he will be grown up, I shall take him. That person became Swami Ambikananda, a great monk, disciple of Swami Brahmananda. He wrote in his reminiscences that Sri Ramakrishna told my mother that as Mother Kali has many jewelry, you should have many good jewelry. So she had full of bangles and necklace and earring and nose ring, women's, all the jewelry. So one day he has many churi, bangles, they make some noise. Sri Ramakrishna said, he was in ecstasy. Why are you making so much noise? When I go to Samadhi, I keep a link with my body. If that sound cuts that link, I shall not be able to return to my body. You see, we have never heard such thing in our lives. No scriptures. I shall not be able to come back to my body. Then, when he used to come to say, he used to tie his all bangles so that it will not make any noise. It was at Kashipur Garden House. Sri Ramakrishna had cancer, he cannot eat anything. But Sri Ramakrishna was very fond of his shandesh, Nistarini. She used to make very good shandesh. So he came to Kashipur and went to Sri Ramakrishna's room. She had free access. What do you want? Master, I brought some shandesh, you will have to eat. Only liquid can go through his throat cancer. Only liquid can go. All right. So she fed Sri Ramakrishna one shandesh. Are we happy? No. You will have to eat another. All right. Another shandesh. Are you happy now? No. No. I shall not eat anymore. I shall eat your shandesh through my subtle body. It used to happen. It was, I think she died in 1932 or 33, something, 32 or 33. She had dropsy. Water accumulated in his body. He was dying. But it was Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. She called her daughters-in-law, carry me to the kitchen. I shall make shandesh for the master. Master loved to eat my shandesh. I'm just telling you what is called love. And when she died, she put Sri Ramakrishna's picture and put on his chest, Jai Ramakrishna. Died. When we read these life stories of these great devotees of Sri Ramakrishna, we're amazed. Yoginma, Sri Ramakrishna don't think only he has only male devotees. She has many women devotees. Yoginma, marriage with a very rich man. But her husband was bad character, drunk, had a baby, came back, marriage broke, visited Sri Ramakrishna, and Sri Ramakrishna transformed her life. Jnani. Golapma lost her husband, lost her son, lost her daughter, everything gone. Broken-hearted, Yoginma brought her to Sri Ramakrishna. I have none. Sri Ramakrishna says, you are so lucky. The person who says, I have none, God belongs to that person. Sri Ramakrishna took her to Holy Mother and said, feed this girl. Government, she was a woman. Feed this woman. You see, if you are too much grief, if you eat food, immediately your grief will be dropped. Feed this woman. She will be always with you. When Sri Ramakrishna passed away, Golapma became the bodyguard and companion of Holy Mother. Sri Ramakrishna raked grief from this woman and put the jar of bliss in his heart. How much love he had for the devotees. Broken marriage, grief, how Sri Ramakrishna would take care of them. Suresh Chandra Datta, he was a Brahmo. He went with Nagmasha to Sri Ramakrishna. He said, I don't care for initiation. Sri Ramakrishna said, all right. Then, after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, he went for a job and came back. But at that time, Sri Ramakrishna was in a very bad shape in Kashipur. He could not approach for initiation. So what happened, when Sri Ramakrishna passed away, he used to go on the bank of the Ganges and cry loudly. And he used to praise Sri Ramakrishna with a longing heart. One night, he saw that Sri Ramakrishna came out from the Ganges and stood near him and gave him the mantra. And he bowed down to Sri Ramakrishna and he collected 950 teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. One story, I may be good. It is very beautiful story. Swamiji returned from America to India. He was in Alumbazar Math. Swamiji had a disciple named Sharat Chandra Chakraborty. He decided that one day whatever food, worship materials, whatever things necessary for the monastery I shall carry. Swamiji discouraged him. He says, early in the morning you will have to come. Sushi is very particular about it. But sir, I shall do everything. So he went to Calcutta and consulted with Suresh Chandra Datta. He said, good opportunity. Buy all the dry food at daytime, previous day, and then early in the morning we shall buy vegetables, fish and scarves and sweets, fresh things. Then we shall go to the monastery. Early in the morning, they went to the market and bought everything. And before the monks got up, the carriage entered the monastery. Swamiji was surprised. My goodness, tell me who helped you. I know you could not do it. But Suresh Chandra Datta did it. But why did he not come? Sir, he is coming, carrying a bowl of sweet curd. Very fancy sweet curd. He is carrying on foot. He did not come by horse carriage. Why? Because horse carriage that road is not good. The jerking will make that switch card, is shuffled. Think of that. This man is walking 6 miles carrying a bowl of switch card instead of coming by carriage, because it will be shuffled. Swamiji burst into tears and said, this Bengal, he used to call him East Bengal, Bengal, did you see? Whom Sri Ramakrishna touched has become gold. Sri Ramakrishna's touch makes this person gold. See the feelings. That is called love. This is the way Sri Ramakrishna transformed people. Next, Purna Chandra Ghosh. He came to Sri Ramakrishna was 13 years old. And he recognized Master, sir, you are God. You are Vishnu. Sri Ramakrishna recognized him as one of the 6 Ishwar coaches. And akin to God, this boy. Ishwar Kochi. His family are very rich. They forbade him not to go to Dakshineshwar to see Sri Ramakrishna. But Sri Ramakrishna sometimes used to come in front of his house on the road and send M. M was the school teacher of the Purna. And on the street, when M brought him, standing on the street, Sri Ramakrishna feed him. Sandesh, sweet, prasad. Sir, you are God. Sri Ramakrishna made a forecast. If this boy is married, he will not live long. Actually, it happened. He married, have 2-3 children. He was an accountant, got tuberculosis. He was thinking, what good is my life? I shall commit suicide. So he went at night, he took his shower. Then he was thinking, I shall go to the shrine and bow down to the Master, and then I shall kill myself. Then he went to the shrine and then but let me take a message of Sri Ramakrishna, then I shall take away my life. He opened the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Bengali Gospel. Do you know what he saw? ঠাকুর পূর্ণ বালক ভক্ত ঠাকুর পূর্ণের মঙ্গল চিন্তা করিতেছেন. Purna M wrote, Purna is a boy devotee, Sri Ramakrishna is thinking about his welfare. What? Master is thinking of me and I shall take away my life. No. Change. He could not commit suicide. Then what happened? One day, one of his friends came and said, if Master were alive, he would really could cure you and look after you. Then he said, what do you mean? Master is still alive. Last night, I went to the bathroom. I had a nurse. I did not disturb his sleep. I went to the bathroom. While coming back, I was so dizzy, I was about to fall. But Sri Ramakrishna grabbed me and carried me to bed. Master is still living. When we read these stories of the devotees of Ramakrishna, we get hope. We get consolation. These stories help us when we go through various kinds of difficulties, problems, sufferings. That how much Sri Ramakrishna loved the devotees. His love did not end there. Still his love is flowing. Only we'll have to connect our heart with the Master. Swami Vivekananda wrote in the Balloon Math rule book, Sri Ramakrishna Still in subtle body, he is not, his gross body is gone, but his subtle body still exists. Still many people see him and get instructions from him. And if you want, you can see him. This is a very great message, gospel of hope and consolation. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय Ramakrishnaaya te Namah. I bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, who established the universal religion, who is the embodiment of all religions, who is the foremost among the avatars. I bow down to him again and again. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be unto all.